Hello everyone, I'm Joseph, the first J of Jmdjstudios, and welcome back to another top 10 list! This top 10 list is going to be the top 10 GameCube games. This is our personal list, so make sure you comment below what you thought about the list, and so on and so forth. Let's get right to it. Shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers, the J Wits. He does a lot of Pokemon stuff, so it's really cool. Number 10 on our list is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now, I'm going to start off by saying to you guys, have you all ever wanted a Pokemon game, like an actual handheld Pokemon game experience, full-blown RPG, on a home console? Well, too bad this game isn't it. But this is the closest, arguably, that you can get to a full-blown Pokemon RPG on the home console. It tells a different story, but it is a 3D experience. It is Pokemon on the home console. You do catch Pokemon, sorta. And you do train Pokemon, just like you do in the game. You cannot catch them all in this game, and you know there are some limitations. But this is the closest I think the series has ever came to giving us what we wanted as a full-blown Pokemon game on home console. Pokemon XD makes number 10 on our list. There are a lot of really good Pokemon games on the Gamecube. This one, I think, won out because of the RPG factor. So definitely make sure that you go pick that one up. Number 9 on our list is Animal Crossing on the Gamecube. Now, I'm sure that everybody at this point has heard of Animal Crossing because it has evolved into a really massive franchise for Nintendo. But this is the game that started it all. Originally in Japan, this game came out for the N64, but they made it for the Gamecube in America. This game is really cool. There is so much that you can do in this game, from customizing your house and your character to the town around you, meeting new people, planting flowers and trees, and competing in fishing tournaments and bug catching contests, digging up fossils. There's so much you can do in this series, and it's so fun. And this is the game that started it all, and I remember playing this game for countless hours, just doing close to nothing and having fun doing that. And the game, to some people, might sound like it would be boring, but it's actually not. The game itself is really detailed, it's really fun, and there's always something going on in town. There's always something to do. It's a game that can be fun when you first start out. You'll play it quite a lot, getting everything right, you know, trying to piece together your perfect house and your dream furniture and all this stuff, and fishing and all this stuff, to eventually you'll wear yourself out a little bit on it, but you'll still be checking it back at least once a day. And even on holidays sometimes, I still go back to this version of the game just to go through the holiday events, which is really cool. As you can see here, there's a lot of Nintendo-themed items that you can customize your room with, which is quite awesome. But one of my favorite parts about the original Animal Crossing is the fact that they have like 20+ original NES titles that are fully playable. You can get them. Each one is an NES console with a copy of the game laying on top of it, and then you can just you click on it and it loads the game up and you get to play it, which is incredible. Games like Mario and Zelda and Punch-Out, there's so many that are all playable through this game. Animal Crossing is so cool. You're like a human in a village that's full of animals, and the animals can talk to you. It's a very unique perspective, but it's a game where, you know, you're moving out on your own. You went to this town, you bought a house, you got to work to pay off your debt, so on and so forth. It's really cool. The game has a very unique tutorial to teach you how to get around. It makes you go talk to the mayor. It makes you go talk to. It teaches you how to plant flowers and trees. It teaches you how to pay on your mortgage. It teaches you where the post office is and the museum and all the houses that are there. It's really cool. And there's a lot of connectivity things you can do. Like you can visit other people's villages and play together, which is really cool. Okay. And there's also a way you can link up to the Game Boy Advance player and go to an island on vacation, which is also really cool. You can actually get sunburned over there, or tan. So it's really cool. And you can get fruits from other people's towns, and you can play an import-export game where, like, if your fruit is apples, and let's say Michael, his town was bananas, I could go to his town, buy bananas, and come back, and I can either sell the bananas because, and they'll be like, let's say apples are worth $100 and the bananas are worth $300 because they're not local. I had to import those. you can make more money. But if you plant the bananas and you turn them into a banana tree, you can start growing your own bananas. You take one banana back, you plant it, it grows a tree that gives you 3. You take those 3, now you've got 4 trees that give you 3 bananas each, and eventually you have a banana farm, and you can just take all the bananas and go sell them and make loads of money, and it's really cool. So that is number 9 on our list. So number 8 on our list is Pikmin. Pikmin is a game that debuted on the Gamecube, and my, what a game it is. Pikmin was so hard for me when I first played it, because you crash land on this strange planet, and you have these little creatures to help you out. That's Pikmin, and they basically work like ants in a way. They can carry like so much more weight than their own body mass. So like if you got 100 Pikmin, you can pick up a spaceship part with them, and they can move it to where you need it to go. It's I don't know what genre I'd really classify Pikmin in, because it fits in so many, but it's a lot like a strategy game in a way. Pikmin is very unique as well. You have it's like a time management kind of strategy game as well. So like you have to keep telling yourself, well, I've got it's day 5. I've got 30 parts to get. I've got 30 days to do it, and I got to beat that final boss to get that last part. What's really cool about the game is you kind of have to pick and choose your time very wisely, because there's certain spaceship parts that aren't necessary, like the comfy captain's chair seat, but there are other parts, like the engine, which are vital. They're necessary. The planet of Pikmin is a very dangerous planet because there are giant beasts that wait around every corner lurking to eat you and your Pikmin. But through the daytime, they kind of enter like this hibernation mode, so it's not as dangerous. But nighttime, they all wake up, and they are predators, and they start hunting. Nighttime's dangerous, and Pikmin have evolved. They're either in the ground, so they're safe, or they're in their pod, which flies above and orbits the planet's surface at nighttime to avoid this. So it's really cool. But as you can see in the game, this is day 1, and he has put 25 Pikmin on an item that only requires 20 Pikmin to carry it to increase the speed, thus saving extra time. Now, this game is very fun, and it is very possible to get all 30 pieces, beat the final boss, and take off and get the good ending of the game. Either way, after 30 days, whether you've got enough parts or not, Omar will try to get in the ship and leave, because his life support system will run out. It's got a good and a bad ending. Either way, they're kind of technically both good endings, but regardless, you get an ending to the game either way. So the game itself is really fun. It's so fun, and it's really interesting to see how much detail that Miyamoto and his team put into this game, and the sequels are awesome as well. So definitely pick up Pikmin, which was number 8 on our list. Number 7 on our list is one of my favorite games ever, and it's one of the best in the series. It is Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. Also in this spot, we could put Another Wonderful Life. It depends, because A Wonderful Life you play as a guy, and Another Wonderful Life you play as a girl. They're both on the Gamecube. They're both really great games. The one with the girl has more options, including you can change your outfits and stuff. Because it is newer, it's kind of a remake of the game, and most of it's essentially the same. But either way you look at it, Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life is a fabulous game. It is fantastic. It's so much fun to play. This was the first entry in the Harvest Moon series for me, and it got me hook, line, and sinker. I fell so far deep into this game, it took me months to get out. Months, people. I actually went into Movie Gallery, which was a rental video store for those youngsters on here who are only used to Netflix. I went in and I was looking at in the game section. I was going to rent a GameCube game. I just didn't know which one. And I saw Harvest Moon, and I looked at the back of it, and something about it said, I haven't really played a game like this before, so I'm going to pick it up and give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? And I was in for a big surprise. This game is incredible. I love every minute of this game. And it's a really long game too. It is definitely, you get your money's worth in any kind of Harvest Moon game you pick up, because they are long, they've got a lot to do, they've got a lot of events, and it's also kind of strategic, because you get to plan out your farm. You have to take care of, your wife or your husband, depending on which one you get, your kids, your animals, your plants, your trees. You can get all sorts of different things upgraded and customizable. So it's a really fun game to play. As you can see here in the tool selection, all of these tools that you can select from to pick to grow your plants. It's really cool because it goes through the 4 seasons, and so essentially you've got 4 months in each year. You've got the spring month, the summer, the winter, the fall, and the winter. And there's some plants that can grow in all seasons, some plants that are only one season specific. Some of them are like a little overlap, like, well, halfway through fall, halfway through winter. And it's really cool. So you have to be strategic. You've only got a certain amount of spots you can plant stuff, a certain amount of animals that you can have. So there are limitations because, of course, the size of your farm limits that. But if you're strategic enough, you can make loads of money and be extremely successful at what you do, and continue to grow more and more every year. You know, you can start off in spring year 1, and maybe you can only afford to buy 5 tomato plants. But you make so much money off of those 5 tomato plants that you can afford to buy 7 watermelon plants, and you grow them in the summer. And then it's like, you know, by the time you get to winter, you can grow like 30 potato plants. And then it's spring again. Spring year 1, you can only afford 5, but spring year 2, you can fill up an entire field of tomato plants. And your money continues to increase as long as you spend it in a smart way, and your farm increases as well. Harvest Moon is a really fun game. It's got a great soundtrack to it. It is very calming and relaxing soundtrack to it, and it's a very relaxing game. And it kind of makes you, no matter who you are that plays the game, it makes you kind of want to go back to that simple lifestyle. So it's really cool. I would definitely recommend anybody who has a GameCube to pick up Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. All right, so number 6 on our list is Mario Kart Double Dash. Now this game has evolved so much from the last Mario Kart game. What's really cool about this is the roster of characters has expanded exponentially. And now you have 2 riders on a cart instead of each one. The way that you switch out these characters and the way you pair them up and the way the carts are and stuff, it's very customizable. The tracks and the level design in this game are very, very good. There's a lot of secret shortcuts and hidden things that you do. So that's really fun. That's really different than other Mario Kart games. A lot of people think that this is one of the best in the series. I would have to agree. Mario Kart Double Dash is really, really fun. It's really good. I've competed in several competitions with this. Not, professionally, but I have. And it's so much fun. It's challenging, it's fun, it's exciting, it's exhilarating. And I would definitely recommend Mario Kart Double Dash to anybody that has a GameCube. If you haven't played it, it is definitely a Mario Kart worth picking up, worth your money, worth your time. It's very, very good. It's got a mixture of tracks, both some old ones that are remixed, and then a lot of new ones that are really good. Really good. So I would definitely pick this up. It's worth it. Mario Kart Double Dash. Double Dash Mario Kart. Hashtag Mario Kart. Hashtag Jmdjstudios says Mario Kart Double Dash is awesome. Hashtag. Hashtag, I need to stop with the hashtag jokes. So, number 5 on our list is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, Super Smash Bros. Melee, a lot of fans are actually divided on this, but the majority of people, I think, actually think Melee is the superior Smash Bros. Game. Smash Bros. Melee did so much for the franchise. It turned it into one of the most competitive games that's available today, and it increased the roster of the original Smash Bros. And the roster of characters and stages alike and modes. And there's so much more in Smash Bros. Melee, and it's awesome. It's so much fun too, and you've got your classic mode and just, it's awesome. And Master Hand is a really good villain. Master Hand is like the master manipulator, if you will. But Smash Bros. Melee is a very special game for me. I liked the original Smash Brothers quite a bit, but I played so much more of Smash Brothers Melee. To me, it is definitely one of the best games on the GameCube. And playing it with the Wavebird controller, that's like the best controller ever. You can't get any better than playing with a GameCube controller, or more specifically the Wavebird for Smash Brothers. Everything about Smash Brothers Melee is so much fun. It's so good. I love it quite a bit. It's very fast-paced as well, so I mean, you can't really go wrong with Smash Brothers Melee, so it's really good. And I would highly, highly recommend you pick it up. If you like Smash Brothers at all, Super Smash Brothers Melee is right up your alley. Number 4 on our list is Super Mario Sunshine. This game is highly overlooked in the Mario franchise. Some people don't like it as much as other games. And while it's definitely not the best Mario out there, Mario Sunshine is one of the most unique Mario games you can play. It changes up the platforming of a 3D platformer quite a bit with the use of FLUDD, which is actually invented by Professor Egad. FLUDD is really interesting because he helps you do things like involving water. Mario Sunshine has pretty much one theme. It's all tropical. Mario and Peach are on a vacation. They go to this island, and when they get there, someone who looks exactly like Mario has polluted the entire island. So they pretty much arrest Mario on spot and blame him for it and tell him he's got to clean it up. So through the use of FLUDD, you have to go around and clean up all this sludge that's all over this beautiful tropical island, this paradise, if you will, and try to catch the real culprit, who of course is Bowser and Baby Bowser, but Bowser Jr., I think, is the more precise term. But Super Mario Sunshine is really fun. It's really good. It's this bright, sunny game, but it's also got a darker tone to the story. And that's what's really cool about it. Other than a okay-ish boss fight at the very end of the game, Mario Sunshine had very many really cool levels. And introduced some new characters and stuff for the series, new enemies and things. So overall, though, Mario Sunshine is actually a really good game. If you haven't played it, I would definitely recommend picking it up. I actually like the game quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. Graphically speaking, I think it holds up pretty well. So I personally love Mario Sunshine, and a lot of us here at Jmdjstudios did, because it got number 4 on our list. So next up on our list is number 3. It is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. So it's the second installation of the Paper Mario franchise. As you can see, the core gameplay is the same of Paper Mario on the 64. It's an RPG adventure in a paper-themed world. You're trying to rescue the princess and stuff. But this is going to show off the combat a little bit more than the last video, which is the N64 video. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door was so good. A lot of people say the first one's better, but most people say the second one is better. And in almost every way, that could be true. There is so much that is really fantastic about this game. From the boss fights to the scenery, the graphics. If you can't tell, the graphics on this look really fantastic. They haven't really aged any because of the theme. Because of the limitations of the 64 and from the time frame of the 64, that one did age some. But this one looks like it could have came out today, and that would be just fine. It looks really fun to play still today, and it is still really fun to play today. Paper Mario is an amazing RPG experience, and I think by far it's the definitive Mario RPG between Mario RPG, Paper Mario, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It's the definitive RPG. I would highly recommend that you pick up Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, because if you like the first one, or if you like any of the new ones, this one is really, really good, and it's really up your alley. And if you haven't played any of them before, This is a good entry point for you. Even though it's technically the second one, you don't need to know anything from any of the other games to play it. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. It's awesome. So just go get it right now. All right, number 2 on our list is Luigi's Mansion. That's right. Luigi has defeated Mario on Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., Mario Sunshine, and Paper Mario. Luigi's Mansion actually ranks number 2 on our list. And I think the reason that it did is because it's a brand new franchise on the GameCube, but it's also a really, really good one. It's a very solid game. Sure, people can argue that it's not that long, but to me, and to most of us here at Jmdjstudios, a game doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be long to be amazing. For me, Luigi's Mansion is this incredible experience where Luigi finally has to step up into the spotlight. He's got to save Mario. And not like Mario is missing on the Super Nintendo, because it's not even, don't even go there. Let's just forget it, I even said that. Luigi's Mansion. Luigi has had this character development. He's timid, he's shy, he's afraid. And he is now in a survival horror game where he's got to go rescue Mario, which is usually the other way around. Usually he looks up to Mario, Mario does the hero work, and he just kind of stays back, and he's kind of okay with that. Now he has to go in a ghost-filled mansion and rescue Mario. One of my favorite things about Luigi's Mansion is the element of catching these ghosts, because you've got normal ghosts that appear all throughout the mansion, like, you know, the orange ghost, and they have their own personalities, and that's fine, but it's full of boss ghosts. Like, you've got your normal ghost, which, like, you know, the orange ghosts that are just floating around. Not like this orange ghost, because it's a different... Anyways. But then you've got your, like, mini boss ghosts, which is like... They're like room ghosts. You go into a room, and you see this... Excuse me. You see this guy, he's in a rocking chair, and he's reading his book. And they're harder to catch than normal ghosts. Then you've got your boss ghosts that are... They have all these incredible powers, and they're really scary, and they're really hard to defeat. And that's what I really like about Luigi's Mansion. And essentially it's a game where you go from one room to the next, wondering what's lurking around the corners, wondering what ghost you're going to have to fight next, and wondering, is Luigi going to be able to do it? Is he going to survive this? Is he going to rescue Mario? And that's a really cool setting for the game. It's got a very dark feel to it. It's an old abandoned house. There's dust flying everywhere. There's spider webs and cobwebs all over the place. But the house is still in relatively good condition, which is awesome. But it is abandoned. You can tell it's been abandoned for a long time. They have a lot of stylized cinematics in the game. Like when Luigi reaches for a doorknob and it zooms up on his hand and he opens it and he turns it and it's locked and he's just tugging on it and it's got the door squeaking in the background and stuff. It's so much fun. If you have not played Luigi's Mansion, I definitely recommend picking it up. It is so much fun. It is so good. And it introduces this really nice franchise into the game. And graphically speaking, it looks really good. Like, really, really good. And it still holds up pretty well today. Luigi's Mansion is just this fun, unique experience to go on the GameCube. And I would highly recommend it. Personally, it's my favorite. So I would highly recommend it. Please pick up Luigi's Mansion. Enough said. Number 1 on our list is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I feel that The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker is one of the best Legend of Zelda games ever. And until I played the Super Nintendo version, it was my favorite. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker definitely deserves this spot. When my experience with Legend of Zelda is, once again, Michael and Drew had bought the game. They brought it over to my house. I was playing it on my GameCube, and I was watching them sail on the boat, and in just this massive open world where you could climb into this boat and just start sailing across the sea and exploring different islands and continents all over the map. It was incredible. I kind of felt like a solo pirate on my own adventure, just casting myself out there and hoping that I make it to the next piece of land, and I'm wanting to discover new pieces of the map so I could go treasure hunting or dungeon crawling on these islands. It's a fantastic game, full of vast discovery, and I mean, the ocean feels endless for the longest time in the game. The graphics are cel-shaded, which at first when the game launched, it divided Zelda fans because so far they've been used to this realistic experience, and especially on the 64, seeing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And I guess some people felt like the series was taking a back step to graphics. But it's funny that how wrong they were, because this game is probably the most well-aged Legend of Zelda game there is, because cel-shaded graphics don't really age, as long as you do it correctly. The game, this is the Gamecube version, okay? So, as you can see, it's still beautiful. It's still beautiful to look at. It's colorful, it's bright, it's vibrant, and it's just bursting with color and creativity. And that pretty much speaks volumes about the game itself. The soundtrack is incredible. The gameplay is really good. It's very different from other Legend of Zelda games, but yet it's familiar enough to where you know it's a Legend of Zelda game. It gives a new personality traits, if you will, to Zelda herself, to Link in ways, and a lot to Ganondorf as well. And it's really cool. I like the way Ganondorf is in this game because he looks more like a samurai than anything else. But to me, the game, this is like almost like a pirate game to me in a way, because and that's a really good gameplay experience for anybody to go through. Just you get on a ship, you go out, you fight people on the open waters, you can board other ships. There's even a ghost ship level where you have to track down the ghost ship. Depending on where the moon is in the sky, depends on where the ship appears in the ocean, and you track it down, you get on there, there's puzzles and enemies to fight and solve, and then you work your way through it and you get this awesome treasure, and it's really cool. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker was a game for me, one of the earliest, I think, where I sat down and I decided I want to do everything in this game. And if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the first Legend of Zelda games I actually beat all the way through, because where my age and experience level was at the time in gaming. It was so much fun, and it is also available now on the Wii U as an HD re-release. If you haven't got it yet, pick it up, because it looks like this, and it's really shiny, and it's really awesome. See the shine? It's such a great game. Just, you need to pick this game up. You need to pick it up. You need to pick it up, son. But anyways, that's the Legend of Zelda for GameCube Wind Waker. Definitely earned that spot. Thank you guys so much for watching another one of our top 10 list. It's been so much fun doing these, and we're going to continue to do it every Friday, so you keep watching for those. But I want to know from you guys, comment below. What did you think of our list? Did you agree? Did you disagree? What games made your list that did not make our list? Comment that below. We tried to respond to everybody's comments, and we really look forward to debating with you guys and talking about games in general. Follow us on Twitter at Jmdjstudios and at AMGames64. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video with your friends. We really want to grow this community. We want to become, we want to just keep rising up with our view count and stuff on YouTube. Views that we get, the more awesome content we can bring to you guys. Above all else, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We have videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for you guys, and that is going to continue until further notice. So at least 3 videos a week, so on from this point. Thank you so much for watching once again, and we'll see you in the next top 10 video. Bye!